welcome to The Power of You. Today we have Abby Malco with Amazon joining us today to talk about how to start selling in Amazon's store. So I am not going to waste any time. I'm going to turn everything over to Abby. We will be taking questions at the end. So if you have a question, just go ahead and put it in chat and I will be tracking all of those and we'll be feeding them to Abby after her presentation. And please, everybody, do mute your microphones.
Awesome.
And Abby, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Becky, for having me today. So, hi, everyone. My name is Abby Melko. As Tanya mentioned, we're going to hold off on Q&A until the very end, but I think we should have enough time to hopefully get through everybody's questions. Just a little bit about me. I've been at Amazon almost 6 years now, working with small businesses the entire time. So I'm definitely a subject matter expert on selling in the store. I also helped launch Amazon Supplier Diversity Program. So I have a lot of experience in supplier diversity certification and procurement as well. In my current role, I lead our small business partnerships and education team. So, what I do is work with various internal and external partners, predominantly nonprofit organizations, to provide education to small businesses to help them learn more about how they can find growth with Amazon, particularly in our store. And outside of that, I'm based in the DC area and am a retired US Navy chief. So with that, we'll just go ahead and dive right in. Let's take a quick look at the agenda. We're going to talk about why sell an Amazon store because it may or may not be a fit for you. We're going to talk about what to sell and when, how to get started, how to list your products, how to deliver your products, some opportunities for growth, and then at the very end, I'm going to share some additional resources that we have for small businesses. So I'm hopeful that the virtual audience here is predominantly product-based small businesses. But why sell an Amazon store? I imagine most of us are Amazon customers. So when you sell an Amazon store, you're going to be able to gain access to new customers in addition to wherever you're selling your product. For example, if you have a D2C site or if you're selling through retailers, the intention of selling an Amazon store is obviously to gain a larger customer base. On Amazon.com, which is where most of us shop, we have hundreds of millions of worldwide active customer accounts. And for those of you who sell to other businesses, which you're a B2B type business, we have Amazon Business, which is currently has over 6 million worldwide active customer accounts. And because Amazon is very much a global company, you can deliver to customers in more than 100 countries and regions through Amazon. So let's talk a little bit about the Amazon customer because that's really, really important and how you're going to target the Amazon customer. In 2022, Amazon was ranked the most trusted brand by US consumers. I know there's a lot of talk about other online places to shop, especially ones in China, but it's important to note this data point because Amazon again does give you a trusted experience where you know you're going to get your product in 1 to 2 days. You know that the product reviews are going to be honest and transparent. So again, it is very important to note that Amazon is highly trusted among US consumers. Over 75% of customers visit Amazon to discover new products and brands. I myself am definitely one of those people. And then 78% of Amazon shopping queries are brand agnostic. So, what do I mean by that? I mean, when you're shopping in Amazon store, you're looking for the product first, not the brand. So, if you are a new and emerging brand and you really want to gain brand exposure, Amazon is a great place for you to do this because once people discover your product and they like your product, they're going to want to know what else you're selling at Amazon store. So it's really great for brands to build awareness. And then 52% of shoppers, they're more willing to buy a brand they're not familiar with on Amazon than they would be at any other store. So that ties into a couple of these bullet points here. We're much more likely to purchase from a brand we've never heard of on Amazon because we know, again, we're going to get that trusted experience. We know the product reviews are honest and authentic. And again, we also see too that it's a trusted experience for shopping. So again, really just want to emphasize this is a great opportunity for brand owners to really raise awareness of your brand. So while you can deliver to customers in more than 100 countries and regions, you can also sell in different stores that Amazon has outside of the US. So what you see here on this screen is just a snapshot of the different stores that we have outside of the US. Our largest stores are the UK and Germany outside of US, and then Japan would be the third. So if you're looking to sell in different geographies, this gives you an idea of where Amazon currently has those stores. What's pretty common is when people start selling an Amazon store and they sign up for a professional selling plan, they often sell in the Canada next, maybe Mexico, or maybe the UK. So pretty common to do that, and you can do it from just one Amazon account. And in Amazon Store, there are demonstrated growth opportunities for small and medium-sized businesses. So this data is current from 2023, but more than 60% of the sales in Amazon Store come from independent sellers. And most of those independent sellers are small and medium-sized businesses. So chances are when you're purchasing a product in Amazon Store, it's likely coming from a smaller to medium-sized business rather than a large retailer. So what does that mean for independent sellers? So independent sellers, this data also being from 2023, they sold more than 4.5 billion products in the US alone, which is a pretty high number when you think about it. And they averaged more than 250,000 in sales in Amazon store. So this is the national average. Obviously, this data is going to vary from state to state. For example, California tends to be a higher number than perhaps Mississippi, for example, but is our national average. All right, let's talk about what to sell and when. So, in the 6+ years, I've almost 6 years now, I've been at Amazon. I've worked with literally thousands of product-based businesses. And the one thing I can't emphasize enough is timing is so critical to your success in Amazon store. I actually just worked with a lady making bedding for babies maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, and she was advised not she was advised to sell on Amazon first before having a D2C site, and I can't emphasize that to be the most incorrect thing ever. Always have a D2C site first before selling an Amazon store because you really want to have a strategy in place before you start selling an Amazon store. So, what to sell in the store? This is another one of my favorite topics because, believe it or not, I've worked with small businesses who sell bathtubs on Amazon, and I really don't think that's a fit for Amazon. So, you want a product that's easy to package and ship, kind of like the images you see here on the screen. Shoes, sneakers, maybe some chairs, maybe some, baby furniture, videos, cameras, nutritional products, things like that. What I also can tell right away in looking at a brand is if they have branding potential. So you really want something that's going to grab people's attention. You do want a product that has that branding potential to lure people in. And then there's affordability. So again, you're not going to purchase a $1,000 product or a $2,000 product on Amazon. You're likely most of the time purchasing a product that's probably less than $200. And then you want a product that has a long shelf life. What I mean here is you don't want to sell perishable food in Amazon store. You want to make you can while you still can sell food in Amazon store like spices and seasonings and barbecue sauces, you want to make sure that it has at least a 6 month shelf life. When to sell, again, timing being so critical to your success. You want your product ready to ship and you really understand who your target customer is. I can't emphasize this enough. A lot of people start selling in the store and they don't really know yet who their target customer is. But think about it, millions of people are selling in the store, millions of people are shopping in the store. You really need to be able to hone in on who your target customer is so that you can get discovered by them. And because you are going to be discovered by a lot more people, you do want to make sure that your inventory and supply chain are in place so that you can replenish that inventory. And FBA is one of my favorite topics as well, which I'm going to talk about later in this presentation. But again, you want to make sure too that you're able to replenish that inventory because again, you never want to run out of stock. You never ever want to run out of stock in Amazon store. So keeping those things in mind, we're now going to talk about how to get started. So Amazon has two selling plans. The individual is 99 cents a sale, And this is for people who are just getting started. Maybe they don't know what they want to sell yet. They're kind of trying to just get a lay of the land. That is one option. Another option, which was really the most preferred option, is the professional selling plan. Excuse me. So with the professional selling plan, that's $39.99 a month. And with the professional selling plan, you can sell in the US, Canada, and Mexico. And this is going to be for folks who are probably going to be selling more than 40 items a month. And what's really great about the professional selling plan is you're going to have access to a ton of data. And that is really the best benefit of this program, as well as also making you eligible for different Amazon programs that I'm going to discuss later in this presentation. So you can switch the plans at any time. There is no subscription required, but there are two options for you there. And from there, you will create your account. I always want to emphasize if you're a B2B, you want to create your account on business.amazon.com. That's the picture here that you see on the left. If you're selling D2C, you would create your account on sell.amazon.com. And if anyone doesn't know what those acronyms are, just let me know. But B2B, you're selling to other businesses, and D2C, you're selling direct to consumer. So. And for those of you who are small business owners, as well as, maybe selling B2B, I do want to talk a little bit about what Amazon Business is. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know that Amazon Business exists. So I like to just clarify really quick what it is. So there's two core functions of Amazon Business. One is you can purchase on behalf of your small business, and you can access volume discounts and things like that. So you can use it as a procurement solution. You can also use it to sell your product to other businesses. So for those of you who do have that certification, you're a woman-owned business, make sure that you do add that certification to your account. This is going to be applicable to both Amazon Business and Sell.Amazon, but make sure you add your diversity certification to your account, because through Amazon Business, you can filter your criteria on those specifications. A lot of businesses, government, you name it, they're purchasing on Amazon Business and they're establishing spend criteria based on those attributes. So just a key thing I want to call out there with Amazon Business for those of you who are certified. And from there, what will you need to set up your account? It's very simple and straightforward. You'll just need a bank account number and a bank routing number. You will need a chargeable credit card, a government issued national ID, which is like a driver's license, tax information. I get a ton of questions on what is tax information. That can literally just be your social security number. And then from there, you'll want to add your phone number and then select which selling plan that you're going to enroll in. And once you've set up your account, you'll definitely want to get to know Seller Central. I cannot emphasize this enough. With Seller Central, I always like to say the devil is in the details, because there's going to be so many different tabs where you're going to be able to access all kinds of data. Unfortunately, all the data is not centralized to one page, which I really wish it was, but I'm gonna talk about that later in the presentation. But you're really gonna want to know how to get around Seller Central, how to navigate Seller Central for all of your needs. For example, keeping track of your inventory, updating your product listings, downloading all of the different reports that Amazon provides you to help you better understand your customer, using the different tools to monitor your performance, such as your inventory performance. You'll be able to contact selling partner support to open up a help ticket. This one is probably the most popular feature, because there is going to be a period where you will need to open up some type of help ticket to get the support that you need. And then from there, you'll monitor your payment schedule as well. So you do get paid bi-weekly on Amazon. The billing cycle usually happens 7 days after the product has been delivered to the customer. So delivery is very important, and keeping track of your payment schedule as well. And I like to call this out because, again, the devil's in the details here. Your account health is very, very important. Because if you don't have good account health, you run the risk of getting deactivated, and you don't ever want to get deactivated or delisted, right? So there is an account health dashboard within Seller Central. These metrics here are the key metrics that contribute to your account health. And a lot of these metrics are going to be relevant if you're only fulfilling yourself, but they are, for example, they may not be relevant if you're fulfilling through Amazon. So order defect rate, that is the percentage of orders that have chargeback claims. They just lead to a really bad customer experience. Late shipment is again the percentage of orders that have shipped after the expected ship date. So you want to keep that very low. Cancellation rate, this is the percentage of seller canceled orders over a 7-day period. And what I mean by seller canceled orders is you don't have the inventory on hand, so you had to cancel the order because you weren't able to fulfill it. And then valid tracking rate, this is pretty straightforward. This is going to be the percentage of orders that have valid tracking. And of course, you want that to be very high. So just a couple key metrics here to keep in mind for your account health. And here's a snapshot of what your account health dashboard looks like. Again, Amazon's going to provide you with so much data. It's really, really important to be able to interpret and understand the data. So what you see here on the screen, 200, that's a good account health score. You want it to be in the green. And if it's not in the green, they'll definitely tell you why and how you can correct that. Um, it's just a way for Amazon to make sure that people are being compliant to the standards. So. All right, let's talk about listing your products. So for listing your product, which is going to be the very first thing you do once you've set up your account in Amazon store, you're going to need a product ID. And what I mean by a product ID is this is going to be a UPC or EAN or an ISBN. This product ID is going to be consistent across all retailers. So let's say I'm a brand owner, I am selling something completely new to Amazon. Chances are nobody has that product ID yet. So what you would do in that instance is you would purchase a UPC, and you can purchase a UPC from gs1.org. If you're selling something that's already on Amazon, Amazon's just going to match that product ID to yours, and it's that easy. You're also going to need a SKU. I can get really detailed here, but I won't. Amazon can issue you that SKU. You can issue it to yourself, but SKUs are extremely important for you and making sure that you're able to manage differences with color, taste, variations, as well as fulfillment options. So again, very important to have the SKU from an inventory management perspective. And then product title, product description and bullet points, product images, search terms, and relevant keywords. My favorite pro tip with keywords is you can leverage them on the front end, which is on your product detail page. You can also leverage them on the back end, which is within your Seller Central account, and always, always, always maximize your keywords. So it's going to help you get discovered. And from there, you will create your product listing. So for the product listing, it's pretty much what you see here on the screen. You're going to need a clear title. You're going to need high quality multiple images. Your primary image should always be on a white background. And then you're going to need accurate detailed product descriptions. For the images, always use at least 5 to 6 images, or what we see being the most popular is 5 images in one video. But you do want that magic 5 to 6 number, believe it or not. And then the product listing title. So this picture you see here on the screen is like the perfect product listing title because they capitalized the first letter of each word. They didn't use all caps. They used numbers instead of spelling out 4. They just used the number 4. They kept it short. And that is what I can't emphasize enough. I've worked with so many brand owners over the years who've their product listing title is way too long. And when the product listing title is too long, you confuse the customer. So you do want to keep it less to than 50 characters because you can use those keywords in your product description. So again, definitely keep it short and sweet. Don't include the price, don't include any special characters, and most importantly, don't include any promotional or subjective commentary because Amazon will disapprove that. So, pretty straightforward. And if all of this seems overwhelming to you, we know that AI is all the rage now. So there is a tool within Seller Central where you can just type in a brief description of the product you're trying to sell. And from there, Amazon will generate the title, the description, and the bullet points for you. So I always love to call out this tool because I'm a big fan of generative AI myself. And you can always use as much of the content that they generate or as little of the content. It's completely editable, but it is a great way to maximize and help enhance what you're already writing within Seller Central. Another one of my favorite topics is brand protection. Do not ever sell an Amazon store unless you've been trademarked first. Why? Because anyone can duplicate your product under your brand name, and there's nothing that Amazon can do to stop that, right? So I've worked with literally so many small businesses who don't even understand what a trademark is or that they need to trademark. So this one I really hammer home because I've worked directly with several Shark Tank entrepreneurs who started selling on Amazon and were not trademarked. Can you believe it? They were on Shark Tank and they started selling on Amazon and they were not trademarked. So when their episode went viral, their products immediately got duplicated and there was nothing they could do about it. So let's learn from their unfortunate mistakes, because I've dealt with this. My very first role at Amazon, I dealt with quite a few of them, and it was tough because there was nothing I could do to help them. So just make sure that you are trademarked. And if you are trademarked, enroll in brand registry. And what this is a free service that Amazon provides where they're going to actively protect your brand within Amazon store. This is a really great program because it also helps you use the different brand building tools, which I'm going to talk about on the next slide. And for those of you who aren't yet trademarked, don't fret. We have our IP Accelerator. This is another one of my favorite programs because they're going to help you get trademarked. And the best feature of this program is you can sell an Amazon store with just a pending trademark. So it can take as long as 2 years, maybe 3 years to get an active trademark. With the IP Accelerator, you can sell in the store earlier by just having a pending trademark. And you can also file for trademarks in other geographies. These are all vetted law firms that Amazon works with at pre-negotiated rates. So all of those rates are on the website as well. Once you've enrolled in brand registry, you'll want to create a brand store. Think of a brand store as like your own D2C site, but within Amazon store. This is very important for converting customers because once they discover the product that and they like the product, they're going to want to go to your brand store to see what else do you make, what else do you sell. And so the brand store is great because it's an all-in-one shopping page and you can share a little bit about your brand story. You can do curated shopping collections, but it's just kind of like your own D2C site within Amazon. And again, it does help you convert that to a longer term customer. All right, let's talk about delivering products. There are 3 ways you can deliver. You can fulfill by merchant. So this is such as like a UPS or the Postal Service or anything like that. You can fulfill by Amazon, which I will talk about in a couple slides here. And then you can use Seller Fulfilled Prime. I don't want to get too into the weeds with Seller Fulfilled Prime, but basically what it is you're fulfilling it yourself, the product yourself, but you still get the Prime badge. And in order to get that Prime badge, you have to meet the criteria for the program. So there is going to be a trial period there to make sure that you meet that criteria. And once you do, you're automatically enrolled into the program. Personally, based on my own experience working with product-based businesses, the ideal balance here is doing both FBM and FBA. And I'm going to talk about why in a couple of slides. There's a couple things you want to consider with packaging and prep. For those of you who, again, hopefully this is a product-based audience here, temperature-sensitive products, again, refrigerated products cannot be sold through Amazon's fulfillment network. So if you are selling a refrigerated product on Amazon, you have to fulfill it yourself. You do need to make sure that you're clearly labeling your products with expiration dates, so that you can manage first in, first out. Fragile and heavy products, they do need to be clearly marked on the packaging. For fragile products, I always like to say it should pass the 3-foot test. So if you can drop it 3 feet and it doesn't break, you have done a great job packaging it. And then, of course, you'll want to consider the placement of the warehouse and if shipping carriers will pick up and drop off there and how long it will take you to get from your manufacturer or your warehouse to the fulfillment center. And I do want to call out that it can take 4 to 6 weeks to get prime shipping after you've initially enrolled in FBA. So give yourself that lead time and make sure that you're planning that appropriately. All right, let's talk about fulfillment by Amazon. Fulfillment by Amazon, we like to call it FBA. This is where Amazon basically picks, packs, and ships all of your orders for you. Your products are eligible for Amazon Prime. So the only thing you do with Fulfillment by Amazon is you ship the product to the fulfillment center. From there, Amazon does everything else for you. You also get Amazon's trusted customer service and returns. They manage all of your customer service for you and your returns, which I think is a huge benefit. And shipping with FBA does cost 30% less per unit than standard shipping options, which is usually your 2 to 5 days. And it's 70% less per unit for premium shipping, which is usually your overnight or your 1 to 2 day delivery. Because think about it, Amazon has a massive fulfillment network. So they're going to be able to get that product to the customer in the 1 to 2 days. And if you want to do a cost comparison, there is a fantastic revenue calculator. Just Google FBA revenue calculator. It's also available within Seller Central. This is a very detailed calculator because there's going to be a lot of components that really estimate your fulfillment costs, such as how the dimensions of your product, how much inventory you have in storage. You want to keep your storage costs low, right? For example, packing material, things like that. So you can just do a comparison what it costs to fulfill through Amazon and what it costs to fulfill yourself. And I promise I mentioned why the best Amazon seller uses both FBA, which is Amazon's network, as well as fulfillment by merchant, which is when you fulfill it yourself. Why is that? Because let's say there's a holiday peak period, you running low on FBA inventory, it can take 6 to 8 weeks during holiday peak period to process new inventory to FBA. So you never want to run out of stock because once you run out of stock, your product detail page can be deactivated. So what do you do in that situation? You're going to fulfill that inventory yourself. So always leverage both fulfillment options. That's the best advice I can give you. All right, let's talk about some opportunities for growth. Now, product reviews, we all know, are so important, especially if you're a new and emerging brand. Amazon does have a program called Amazon Vine. This is exclusive to brand owners, where you can get as many as up to 30 product reviews per product page. And what we've seen is Vine reviews have been shown to boost sales by up to 30%. Your very first product review is actually going to increase your sales by 3.5 times. Why? Because no one's going to want to buy your product without a product review. So you really have to think about how you're shopping on Amazon. You want to give the same experience to your customer. Now, with Amazon Vine, there is very specific eligibility criteria. You can enroll, like I mentioned, as up to 30 products, which is great, but you do want to be enrolled in brand registry within 6 months of selling in the store. This goes back to timing being critical to your success. And then from there, you want to enroll in Amazon Vine within 90 days. You also have to have fewer than 30 product reviews on the product detail page to be eligible for this program. And the product must be in new condition. So, really great program to earn product reviews. one of my favorite ways to increase conversion and drive awareness of a product is promotions and coupons. I love it when a product offers a coupon because let's say it's a consumable item like a foot cream or a hand cream, and there's one brand that's offering a coupon and I'm not brand loyal. I will take that coupon over another product that doesn't have a coupon. So I love this opportunity. Maybe I'm cheap, I don't know, but you want to keep this in mind as a way to really increase conversion. So it can be visible too on the deals page on Amazon. I want to emphasize the deals page here because there is a whole subset of Amazon customers who only shop on the deals page. So the promotion will be visible on the deals page as well as your product listing page. The different promotions and coupons you can offer, percentage off, money off, which is the most common, buy one, get one free, and then free shipping. This is going to appeal to folks who are not Prime members. So just something to keep in mind. And then there's advertising. So I'm not going to get too into the weeds with advertising because we have a whole other presentation where we discuss that in great detail. But just keep in mind that there's three ways you can advertise in the store. You can sponsor the product, which is the most popular and the most common, which is what you see here on the left with the teddy bear. This is going to be cost per click. So you only pay for what people click on. You can also sponsor your brand, which is a great way to promote your brand store because you can use video, you can showcase multiple same products, and it's going to be visible at the very top of the search results. This is also cost per click. And then sponsored display. This is going to reach people off of Amazon as well as on Amazon. This is going to target people based on their shopping behavior. And it's going to, if you see here, this oh yuck at the very top, that's an actual sponsored display from a brand, from a small business owner that I met earlier this year. So Amazon knew I was talking to that brand owner and they suggested I buy their product. So again, this is a more sophisticated way to advertise. I don't recommend doing it until you've become a little bit fluent in advertising in the store. And just really quick, what is cost per click? This is an interchangeable term with pay per click, same thing as pay per click, but it's literally just your total advertising cost divided by your number of ad clicks. That's it. Right. And then another way to get discovered in the store is through our small business badge. So here you see the teddy bear that has the small business badge. This badge is given to everyone who meets the Gartner definition for a small or medium-sized business. So if you go to the amazon.com/support small, you will see the criteria there for getting that badge. What I really love about this landing page, it's literally my favorite Amazon landing page. You can also discover products from women-owned small businesses, veteran-owned small businesses, and it's a really great way to also discover local products. And again, please add your diversity certification to your Seller Central account so that we can identify you as a women-owned business. There's also the small business search filter. This one's a little bit more user friendly. So let's say I want to buy a teddy bear, which can you sense the theme here? All I do is click small business under business type, and it's going to populate all the teddy bears in Amazon store that are coming from small businesses. So this is really great if you're looking to intentionally purchase from a small business. All right, let's see how we're doing on time. Okay, we're doing really great on time. I'm going to now share some programs and resources that we have. Let's talk about Handmade. Handmade is our artisan community of sellers. It's kind of like our version of Etsy, but let's say you hand make or you hand alter a product, you are a good potential applicant for this program. It is an application-based program because they do need to verify that you hand make the product. But what's really great about Handmade is that if you're approved for the program, they waive that $39.99 fee each month, and you only pay one fee, which is the 15% referral fee. Now, you will pay obviously fulfillment fees and advertising fees and things like that. But again, you'll only pay that one 15% referral fee, which is pretty standard across most e-commerce sites. A lot of the categories that are popular on Handmade is home, kitchen, and jewelry. I see people using this all the time for purchasing like wedding gift bag items and things like that. And what is prohibited is food, electronics, live plants, and digital products. I get tons of questions on digital products. That's not considered a handmade product. We also have our Black Business Accelerator. This is going to be for product-based Black-owned businesses who are certified as a Black-owned business. Again, a lot of emphasis here on certification. This is a really great program because once approved, you will be able to receive business education and marketing support. I know so many Amazon sellers who are part of this program who have really benefited from this program. You can also receive mentorship, account management for select participants, and then you can also leverage advertising and promotion credits. And the certifications that we recognize for the program are right here on the screen. And if you don't have that certification, we do partner with Supplier Gateway to help you get that certification, which Amazon would pay for if you're eligible for this program. And then there's Launchpad. So my very first role at Amazon, I partnered with the Launchpad team on a couple of really cool initiatives, which is how I met the Shark Tank sellers. This program has really evolved over the years. It was recently relaunched. It is an invite only program. I want to call out it's invite only, but what's really great about this program is they're going to give you account management support as well as help you with advertising and promoting your product, which I could not emphasize enough. You do have to have some eligibility criteria. Again, you have to have that professional selling plan, which is super important. You have to be selling on Amazon for less than 2 years. And to be considered invited to the program, they're really going to look at your growth potential as well as your social media following. I can't emphasize that enough because it's really important to grow your brand organically as well through your social media. I just want to flag this as a really cool program. So just keep that in mind. Education is very important. My team, we do a ton of these types of webinars and in-person events and discussions, you name it. But there's a couple of really great resources that Amazon has that you can leverage. There is Seller University. This is going to be available within Seller Central once you've started selling an Amazon store. They do webinars all the time where you get to meet with live program reps. So someone who manages FBA, for example. They also have a YouTube channel as well that anyone can access. Seller forums, it's really great to be able to learn from your peers. So Amazon has created an online community space where you can just connect directly with your peers to get help and advice and support. And then we just had our huge annual selling partner conference in Seattle, maybe a couple of weeks ago, a month ago. It's hard to keep track of the time anymore, but that's Amazon Accelerate. You can participate in this virtually as well as in person. This is a really great conference to keep in mind because they're always going to announce new programs, features, and benefits for sellers at this conference. And then you can also connect with different SMEs at Amazon who represent those programs. So a really cool conference to keep in mind. And what was recently just announced at Accelerate this year is Project Amelia. So Project Amelia is one of my favorite new announcements that they made because this is another generative AI tool. But what I think is really cool about this program is it's going to, I don't know if you can see this on the screen here, but it's going to be giving super detailed insights based on your data in Seller Central, based on your performance in Seller Central, to be able to boost your productivity and growth within the store. So it's a really great way to, optimize your performance through AI. There's three capabilities with the tool: knowledge-based questions such as, hey, how do I, set up my product detail page? There's going to be status updates and metrics you can access, as well as action and issue resolution. I will call out this is only in beta phase right now, but it is going to be rolled out on a larger scale before the end of the year. Another really cool announcement at Accelerate this year, probably one that really is driving here efficiency, which I'm a big fan of efficiency, is the Viquo Profit Analyzer. So one of the things, and I'm very honest and transparent about this, one of the frustrating things about Amazon's data sometimes is it's going to be all over the place. So what's really great about VQuo's Profit Analyzer is it's going to consolidate all your data from Amazon, eBay, Shopify, in one place. So you'll be able to see, what is your cost of goods sold, right, across all the different platforms, right? What was the cost to advertise across all the different platforms? What were your fulfillment fees? So this is a really cool tool. It's free for you to use. You can just access by logging in with your Amazon selling credentials. Now, my team, we do, like I said, manage a ton of educational programming, and one that we do is with SCORE. We have an Amazon Seller Success Series that we will be moving forward into 2025 as well. We do very much a wide range of topics. We talk about advertising, we talk about publishing books, we talk about supply chain. We can get really detailed on selling in the store as well. So if you enjoyed today's presentation, definitely check out our Seller Success Series with SCORE. You can watch them on demand as well. And then here's just a quick snapshot of some of the partners that my team and I work with. Again, we're really focused on working with underrepresented and underserved businesses such as veterans, women, Latino-owned businesses. And most of those organizations we work with are nonprofits. So I want to thank NAWBO for hosting us today. And before we dive into Q&A, I do want to share a QR code to a survey that we have. I know Allie, my coworker, is on the line here. Allie, if you are able to scan that QR code and share the link in the chat, that would be super helpful. But we very much rely on your feedback to provide presentations such as today's. And with that, we can probably go ahead and answer some questions.
So does anyone have any questions for Abby? Abby, that was so informative and so much information. Thank you so very much.
I know, is it too much information? Because
I was it
I
was a
can get in
lot.
the weeds. I can get
I
in the
took a
weeds
lot of
here.
notes, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Does anyone have a question? You can unmute yourself or raise your hand or put it in chat.
Yeah, I have a question. This is
Mm.
Amy Wenslow over at Products to Profits. And I was wondering how we get on the mailing list reliably for your SBDC events and your SCORE events.
Oh, so let's go back to, I'll
And
just,
by the way, we're always connecting clients with parts of your team. And I loved that you said the piece about the trademark because I speak for the USPTO sometimes,
yeah,
and it's amazing how many people don't know the
yeah.
protection of the trademark can give you.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I could honestly have a whole conversation on that. But so honestly, if you just Google Amazon SCORE Seller Success Series, it should pop right up. We will be sharing a link or a PDF, I should say, after this with folks who registered for the event. Which
Mm-hmm.
will have all of those URLs. But that's the best way to stay on top of all of the different SCORE webinars that we're doing. With SBCs, that's still kind of ad hoc at the moment. So I would really refer you to SCORE first. We're still building our relationship with the different SBDCs. So,
Okay. And I have one more question, if you wouldn't mind. We do a lot of work with brands to prep them to sell on Amazon. And Amazon Small Business of the Year, the first year you ever offered it. Oh, by the way, I'm actually in the store buying some of it for a raffle giveaway. Um, how, yeah, is there a way that I could connect with your team to maybe give some kind of webinar or something like that in your Launchpad or even before Launchpad?
yeah, Amy, it might be helpful because I don't know too much about the business you're referencing here. It might be
Hmm.
helpful to just connect with me on LinkedIn and send me an email so that I can learn more. And then we could probably go from there because I do a ton of I do go out of my way for a lot of entrepreneurs and sellers if they meet the criteria that Amazon's really looking for. I personally also mentor a lot of product-based small businesses, so
Hmm.
it might be helpful for you to connect with me on LinkedIn and then we can connect and talk more about that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay. We have a whole bunch in chat. What is the average revenue selling potential within the first year at Amazon?
Yeah, so that's going to vary depending on what you're selling. I did talk about average sales in the earlier slide in the US being about 250 a year, but it's all going to depend on what you're selling. I'll give you an example. I worked with an auto company, an auto parts company. He bought the business for 3 million on Amazon. When he took over the business, he then went to 17 million in 2 years. That's unusually
Wow.
high growth. It's all going to be so dependent on so many variables. So it's going to be, what are you selling? How are you advertising? Where are you? Also, you want to sell outside of Amazon as well. Most small businesses now are all omni-channel. You kind of just have to be omni-channel. So it's really going to vary on multiple variables.
What does it mean to have a D2C site before creating an Amazon store?
Oh, kudos to Kathleen for paying attention. Yeah, so a D2C site is like, let's say it's your own Shopify, it's your own website, right? So you always want to cross promote. So if I'm a new brand, an emerging brand, I'm going to want to capture people through social media. I'm going to want to capture people through my own website. But when people discover your product in Amazon store, they're going to also want to go to your own website too. So again, you really want to establish credibility as a brand on your own first before you sell an Amazon store, right?
Perfect. Is the trademark help only effective within Amazon store or wherever the product is sold?
Yeah, I love this question as well. So this is going to be a national trademark, a U.S. national trademark. You can use it no matter where you sell. The only caveat here is to be eligible for the IP Accelerator, you do have to be you want to be selling an Amazon store to really benefit from that program, right? So it is going to be a national trademark that you can use across the U.S.
Perfect. And is there a similar program to Black Business Accelerator also available for other minorities?
If I had $1 for every time I got this question, I would be a millionaire right now. I feel the same I feel the same frustration when people ask me this question because I'm a veteran. I'm also disabled. And so I'm like, hey, what about us? Right. But the challenge is right now we only have that program for Black owned businesses. It is still a relatively new program, which is where my team comes in. So my team's charter, we focus again on providing dedicated support to women owned small businesses, veteran owned small businesses, Latino owned small businesses. And those are the types of organizations that we invest in and support. So a long-winded answer, but right now that program is only available to Black owned businesses.
Perfect. Thank you. And does anyone else have questions?
This is Denise. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Does Amazon plan to have a platform for service-based businesses and helping them to sell on Amazon?
Yeah, that's another question I get tons of times. So you can sell some services on Amazon and Amazon Business, but it's going to be limited to mostly household and professional. Now, the thing I want to call out with services is Amazon definitely is focused on product. However, there's also the service provider network. So you can sell to your service to other Amazon sellers. That's one option. There's also our supplier diversity program. So if you go to supplierconnect.com, you can also register within our supplier network if you are a service-based business. It's not a guarantee that Amazon will purchase your services, but it's a great way to gain exposure as a service-based business. But those are the key things I would call out there, the supplier diversity program and the service provider network.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Well, perfect. We are going to give you 9 minutes back in your day. I know for some of us that is very valuable. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we will see you back here in a couple weeks for our next The Power of You. I hope everyone has a great day. And Abby, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thanks, everyone.